Small towns of America. Big stories often live in small places. This is Small Towns of America, and today we're discovering Amherst, Virginia, where history, landscape, and local character create a place unlike anywhere else. Amherst, Virginia. Courthouse, Mill, and Blue Ridge Light. Amherst sits on a long green ridge in Virginia's Piedmont, with the Blue Ridge rising in layered folds to the west. The town is compact, leafy, and centered on institutions that have served the surrounding county for generations. Main Street brings together brick storefronts, churches, houses, and public buildings without losing sight of the wooded hills beyond. Amherst is small enough for its landmarks to feel connected, yet its story reaches from an early stage station to rail commerce, milling, education, and the arts. The result is a county seat whose character comes from both civic purpose and the landscape at its doorstep. The settlement was first known as the Oaks and Seven Oaks. In 1807, when Amherst County was reorganized and needed a centrally placed seat, this crossroads community became Amherst. The town took the county's name, which honored British military officer Geoffrey Amherst. A frame courthouse opened in 1809, establishing the pattern that still shapes downtown. The present historic courthouse dates to about 1870 and was made with local brick, later painted white. Its pediment, tall windows, dark shutters, low wings, and octagonal cupola give the building a restrained classical presence. Newer additions expanded the complex, but the older section remains the image most closely associated with the town. A short distance away, Edgewood reveals a more private kind of ambition. Built in 1818 by Arthur B. Davies, the Greek Revival House stood on a knoll overlooking what became Main and Garland Streets. Its expensive finishes and hand-painted interior murals inspired the nickname Arthur's Folly, but the building soon proved useful in ways its builder could not have predicted. It later housed Higginbotham Academy, served as a Masonic meeting place, and welcomed a Methodist congregation. Listed on the National Register of Historic Places in 2006, Edgewood still retains much of its original woodwork and mantels. Its long sequence of uses mirrors Amherst's talent for adapting historic buildings rather than treating them as scenery. Rail service added another center of activity. The restored Amherst Depot was completed for the Southern Railway in 1913, replacing an earlier station and giving passengers and freight a substantial local stop. Its low brick walls, deep eaves, broad platform, and sturdy brackets belong to an era when the depot was both a gateway and a workplace. Trains helped farmers, merchants, students, mail, and manufactured goods move through the county with new speed. The tracks also reinforced the importance of nearby mills and warehouses. Passenger service no longer defines Amherst, but the depot survives beside the rails, a clear reminder that the town's development depended on connections between the courthouse center and the productive countryside around it. The strongest industrial landmark is the Thompson's Amherst Mill Complex. Records mention a mill on this site as early as 1793, while the oldest surviving building dates to about 1890. For more than 2 centuries, farmers brought grain here to be processed, making the site an economic focal point for Amherst and the surrounding area. The complex grew beyond a single mill. A power plant supplied electricity to the town for several years, and an ice plant became an important local producer. Flour and cornmeal production continued until 2017. Listed on the National Register in 2019, the mill's weathered buildings and surviving equipment preserve the practical, inventive side of Amherst's history. Amherst's historical memory has a home of its own on South Main Street. The Amherst County Museum and Historical Society occupies the Kierfott Woodhouse, a handsome Georgian Revival American foursquare built in 1907 for pharmacist Dr. Joseph Kierfott. The museum began in the 1970s and first opened in the old county jail before moving into this larger house in 1992. Its collections document family life, agriculture, schools, businesses, tools, clothing, photographs, and the many communities of Amherst County. The building itself is part of the lesson. Broad porches, balanced windows, a hipped roof, and domestic rooms turn local history into something approachable, scaled to the lives recorded inside. Old buildings also support Amherst's present-day creative life. Second stage, the town's Fine Arts and Community Center operates in a historic church on 2nd Street. Its mission joins creativity with civic and economic vitality, and its rooms host exhibitions, music, classes, markets, meetings, and small local businesses. The setting gives those activities a distinctive sense of continuity. Arched windows and the simple sanctuary form remain visible, while new uses keep the building active throughout the week. Nearby storefronts, the library, courthouse grounds, and community events create a town center that functions as more than an administrative address. Amherst's public life is built from familiar spaces given fresh work. Just outside town, Sweet Briar College broadens Amherst's cultural and scenic setting. Founded in 1901 and opened in 1906, the college occupies 2,847 acres in the foothills of the Blue Ridge. Its landscape includes 2 lakes, miles of trails, old hardwood forest, open lawns, farm ground, and mountain views. 22 campus buildings are listed on the National Register of Historic Places. The college is known for women's education, equestrian programs, and hands-on study that uses the campus as a laboratory for engineering, agriculture, and environmental work. Sweet Briar's scale is rural rather than urban, so its brick academic buildings, gardens, barns, woods, and water feel closely tied to the same landscape that frames Amherst. Local character becomes especially tangible at the Briar Patch on South Main Street. The restaurant opened in 1948 and describes itself as the place where friends meet. That phrase fits its role as an Amherst landmark. Its menu centers on familiar American and Southern cooking, while live music and community gatherings add to the social life around the dining room. Longevity matters in a town where many important buildings have been reused across generations. The Briar Patch is not a preserved exhibit. It remains an operating business, carrying local memory through ordinary meals and repeated visits. Amherst had 2,110 residents in the 2020 census, but its courthouse, depot, mill, museum, college landscape, arts center, and gathering places give this small town a remarkably complete sense of itself.